If you're considering moving to Thailand, Mexico, or Colombia, you'll need to obtain residency in order to remain long-term. Each country has its own regulations, but the good news is that all three have multiple methods of becoming a resident. Whether you're looking to retire, work, invest, or simply enjoy a new lifestyle. In this video, we'll break down the easiest and most common ways to get residency in these countries step by step in simple terms. Let's get started! How to get residence in Thailand. So our first destination is Thailand. Thailand offers a range of long-stay visas, each designed for different lifestyles and needs. The first one on the list is the retirement visa, which is a non-immigrant OA and OX visa and is the best option if you are 50 years or older and want to reside in Thailand without employment. The second one is the long-term resident visa. It provides you with a 10-year residence permit if you are a retiree, a wealthy person, a high-level skilled worker, or a remote worker. And if you want to work or start a business, then Thailand offers you the non-immigrant B visa, which requires you to have a Thai employer sponsor you with employment. If you are married or have children in Thailand, then you can avail marriage or family visa. It is a non-immigrant O visa and allows you to reside with your family in the long term. Next on the list is the high-end residency option. The Thailand Elite Visa provides you with the option of staying for 5 to 20 years with VIP privileges and easy application. Last but not the least is a permanent residency visa. When you need a permanent residency option, PR allows you to live in Thailand on a permanent basis without the inconvenience of visa renewal problems. Now, you have a clear picture of the types of available visas in Thailand. Let's move to the visa process. To obtain a Thai visa, you need to visit a Thai embassy or consulate within the country where you reside. There, you will be asked to present a passport, proof of adequate funds, health insurance for some visas, and other documents, depending on the visa type. After approval, your passport will be stamped with a visa sticker to allow you into Thailand. However, few visas require you to register further at the Thai immigration office once you have arrived. Processing time will depend on the visa. Short-term visas like the non-immigrant B visa typically take 5 to 15 business days, while long-term visas like the LTR visa or retirement visa can take weeks. When you apply for permanent residency, you have to reside in Thailand for several years in order to qualify, and it can take an entire year. You can pre-prepare your documents and choose the optimum visa for yourself, and this will make the application easy and hassle-free. After the visa process, let's have a look at some of the specific requirements for each visa type. Thailand also has specific requirements for every type of visa, wherein the applicants must possess financial, professional, or personal credentials prior to being granted residency. Financial stability is, in most cases, one of the primary requirements. Most visas require proof of stable income, sufficient savings, or investment in Thailand. Retirement visas, for example, require proof of pension or savings, while business and working visas require an offer of employment and sponsorship by an employer. If you are applying for a family or marriage visa, you will require proof of your relationship with a Thai citizen and financial means to support yourself. Affluent travelers and investors planning to stay long-term will have to achieve a minimum level of wealth and income. Certain visas, especially those for the retiree market, also demand health insurance. Finally, let's talk about visa fees. The charges may vary for each visa. The short term will be between $60 and $150, but longer stays like the LTR visa and Thailand Elite visa will be in the range of $1,500 to $30,000. Permanent residency applications also have some processing charges, which again vary based on the category. By choosing the right visa and preparing your application carefully, you can enjoy a smooth transition to life in this beautiful and culturally rich country. How to get residency in Mexico. If you've explored residency options in Thailand and are now considering Mexico, it's important to understand how the process works here. Mexico has two basic categories of visas: temporary resident visa and permanent resident visa. The temporary resident visa is ideal if you want to stay in Mexico for more than 6 months but not more than 4 years, which is ideal for retirees, remote workers, or those who want to experience life in Mexico temporarily before deciding on a permanent residence. However, the permanent resident visa is ideal for individuals seeking permanent residence in Mexico, either through economic self-sufficiency with relatives or after 4 years of temporary residence. Now, let's discuss the process of the visa here. First, you need to apply at a Mexican consulate of your nation. Your passport, finance information, and necessary documents will need to be provided by you. Once your application is approved, you will then undergo a consular interview where officials will assess if you are qualified. In case you are approved, you will be given a visa stamp in your passport, which will allow you to enter Mexico. However, your visa will only be activated completely after you have completed the final step of enrolling with the National Institute of Immigration, INM, within 30 days of arrival for an official residency card. Let us now discuss the minimum requirements. Financial security is one of the essential conditions to be eligible for residency. Under a temporary resident visa, you need to demonstrate a regular monthly income or an adequate savings account. The permanent resident visa is more costly and demands that you show you are able to take care of yourself in the long term. And if you want to apply for a family visa, you will need to provide proof of your connection with a Mexican resident or citizen. In addition, if you are switching from temporary to permanent residence, you will need to demonstrate that you have been residing legally in Mexico for 4 years in a row. Now, let's discuss the visa fees involved in obtaining residency in Mexico. When applying at a Mexican consulate, the visa application fee is typically around $54 in the United States and 80 Canadian dollars in Canada, though this amount may vary slightly depending on the location and any annual adjustments. Once you arrive in Mexico, you will need to pay for your residency card, which is required to legally stay in the country. The cost of the residency card depends on the length of your stay and the type of visa you have been granted. If you are applying for a temporary resident visa, the cost starts at 4,739 pesos for 1 year and increases depending on the duration you choose. A 4-year temporary residency card costs approximately 11,790 pesos, making it more cost-effective if you plan to stay longer. The permanent resident card, which does not require renewal, costs around 5,776 pesos. This fee is a one-time payment, making it a great option for those who qualify for permanent residency. It's important to note that financial requirements and specific document requests can vary between consulates, meaning that some locations may have slightly different criteria. Some consulates may require additional proof of income or assets, while others may accept a combination of financial documents. For this reason, it's always recommended to check with the specific consulate where you plan to apply before starting the process. Understanding the visa options, required documents, and associated fees will ensure that you are well prepared for your move to Mexico. By following the correct steps and meeting all financial and legal requirements, you can enjoy a smooth and hassle-free transition, making your new life in Mexico an exciting and stress-free experience. How to get residency in Colombia. If you've explored residency options in Thailand and Mexico and are now considering Colombia, it's important to understand the different visa options available. Colombia offers 4 main types of residency visas, each designed for specific purposes. The first one is the visitor visa, also called Tipo Vive. It is ideal for short-term stays like tourism, business, or academic visits. It may be valid for 2 years, but no visit can be more than 180 days. The second one is the migrant visa, or Tipo M. It is renewable and has a validity of 3 years. It is most suitable for the individual wishing to remain within the country permanently due to marriage with a Colombian citizen, working with a Colombian employer, or studying in an accredited university. However, if you are looking to remain in Colombia indefinitely, the resident visa, or Tipo R, allows you to remain in Colombia permanently, and it is therefore the best for those who are eligible for long-term residence. Then, of course, there's the digital Nomad visa, which is the newest visa, allowing remote employees to live in Colombia for up to 2 years working for an international firm. Now, let us go through the process of applying for a visa. Applications for Colombian visas are made online via the website of the Colombian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It begins with filling out the application form and appending supporting documents in PDF. The documents typically comprise a valid passport, evidence of financial status, and other documents required by your particular visa category. Once you apply, you'll have to pay the visa study fee, online or in person, from a Colombian consulate. You'll have your application processed 5 to 10 business days later. when an email receipt is sent and then you're charged an issuance fee and retrieved your visa. Once in Colombia, some of the visas include a second stage. You'll have to visit the Colombian immigration office between 15 and 30 days to complete your registration and obtain a cédula de extranjería, a foreigner ID card required for legal residence in Colombia. Finally, let's discuss how you must proceed to qualify for a Colombian visa. For all visa categories, you will be asked to show that you have a stable income, savings, or investment in Colombia. If you are looking for a migrant visa, you may be requested to provide evidence of marriage to a Colombian citizen, a letter of employment from a Colombian employer, or an admission from a reputable Colombian university. If you wish to apply for a resident visa, you must have been a migrant visa holder for 5 years or more, invested a huge amount of money, 650 times the minimum wage in Colombia, be the parent of a Colombian citizen, or be a former Colombian citizen who wants to re-establish residence. The Remote Employee Visa, or Digital Nomad Visa, requires you to prove you earn at least 3 times the minimum wage of Colombia, approximately $885 per month, and an employment contract with a foreign firm. You would also need to provide health insurance proof for part of the visas. Finally, let's touch on fees for visas. The application fees for most of the visa types range from around $52 to $54. Once approved, you will also be charged an issuance fee that will depend on your nationality and type of visa. For example, there is an additional issuance fee of $177 for the Digital Nomad Visa. If you are applying for a temporary or permanent residency visa, you will need to pay for document translation, legal authentication, and other administrative fees. Remember that fees might be different based on the consulate you visit, so it is always best to ask your local Colombian embassy for the most recent updates. Colombia offers many types of residency, and there are options for tourists, professionals, pensioners, digital nomads, and investors. The perfect visa is determined by your amount of capital, the reason you are coming, and your next destination. That's a wrap on our residency guide to Thailand, Mexico, and Colombia. Each country has so much to give and a fresh start. Got a question or a story to tell? Leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to keep watching for our next video, where we'll be checking out even more incredible destinations. Until then, keep planning, keep discovering, and see you soon.